We're going to be talking about corporate sponsorships and the secrets and 10 keys to attracting big brand sponsors. And then again, these are the things that I'm going to go over. Who am I? What is a sponsorship? The top 10 things you need to know to get a sponsorship. Sponsorship stats, some myths and facts about sponsorship, some testimonials from people that I've helped, sponsorship secrets, adding value, and finding brands. Okay. And then this QR code, this is if you want the VIP, which is where you get to ask me questions at the end, as well as get a contact to one of the brands you're looking to work with. All right. This is who I am, and I see you guys had already started putting in chat where you are and who you are and where you're from. All right, Simone from New York. You have Zach's Hands, Homemade Cosmetics, Trinette Collier, Relationship and Marriage Communication Coach, Entrepreneur. You live in Smyrna, Georgia. Nicole, you're in GA. You work at the Marriott. All right. I know there's more people in this chat, so let me know who you are and where you work and where you're from. So I'm Nicole. I am from Newark, New Jersey. Lived in various areas in northern New Jersey, Vauxhall, East Orange, and Irvington, but grew up in Vauxhall. I moved to Richmond. I went to college in Richmond, Virginia. I attended Virginia Union University, which is a HBCU. I also hold a master's degree in business. I've been on Wall Street 21 years in various roles, including investment banking and equity trading. I'm an author of this book right here, The Master Connector, The Ultimate Guide to Building Impactful Connections in Life for Life and Business Success. I've traveled to over 45 countries, 46 to be exact. The last two countries I just visited was Korea and Tokyo. I became the CEO of the Master Connector Agency in October of 2024. I love, love, love helping my community. I'm a servant leader at heart. I secured a 5-figure sponsorship deal with Amazon and Puma within 6 months of starting my business. So I was like, okay, I'm a bad girl. I was able to get these big brands to sponsor my 6-month-old business. And I made 6 figures in 6 months in my business by part of it coming from big brand sponsorships. All right, Charisse. Okay, I see Deidre, you just moved here. You're moved from corporate, new business align. You're in Brookhaven, Georgia. Jonathan, self-employed, bookkeeper in ATL. Chris, you're from New York, a public speaker. Sharice in Atlanta, interim chair of the board of New Leaders Council. Also looking to learn about sponsorships for the annual convention. All right. Well, you're in the right place, Sharice. So everybody either is from Georgia here or New York. All right. Shout out to y'all for being in the building on this Wednesday night to learn how to get those corporate sponsors. All right, before I go to the next slide, can anybody in the chat tell me what a sponsorship is? Type it in the chat. What do you think a sponsorship is? I'll give y'all 2 seconds to somebody to type in there. What do you think a sponsorship is? Because a lot of people hear the term corporate sponsorships, but like, do they know what that means? What exactly entails? Don't be shy, everybody. Put it in the chat. What do you think a corporate sponsorship is? All right, my team put the VIP link in the chat as well. Money exposure. That's a good one, Nicole. Kimberly Best, licensed therapist. Okay. Christian life coach in Richmond. Okay. A partnership between you and another company. That's a good one, Simone. All right. So, what is a sponsorship? This is the Webster definition of it. Sponsoring something or someone is the act of supporting an event, activity, a person, or organization financially through the provisions of products or services. The individual or group that provides the support similar to a benefactor is known as a sponsor. So sponsorship is basically someone else giving us money to support the things that we're doing. And the sponsorship usually comes from the organization's marketing budget, or sometimes they just have a full dedicated sponsor budget to help other organizations. Now that we know what a sponsorship is, can anyone tell me what you think you need to get a sponsorship? And don't forget this VIP link. I just saw Kim join the chat. Thank you, Kim, for being one of our VIP guests, Kim Best and Lori James. Helping each other when companies pay you for advertising support. Yes, Henry, that's a good one. All right. Can anyone tell me in the chat what can you tell me what you think you need to get a sponsorship? Just some things that you may need from your business to have already in line to get sponsorships to attract these brands to sponsor our businesses. All right, and Kim, as they're writing that in the chat, I see you wrote you're the dream strategist, the CEO of a luxury dream group. You help individuals and businesses attain scalable success through their personal and professional lives through proprietary models, received a book deal recently to be published this spring. I'm from New York and live in Atlanta. Awesome. I moved here from Jersey 5 years ago. Deck, information materials explaining who you are, goals, etc. That's a good one, Jonathan. You were doing your homework, you know. Honestly, not sure what's needed. Okay, Coach, look, I think you find honesty. You're in the right place, right? That's why we're here to tell you. Anyone else want to put something in the chat what you think you need to get a sponsorship before I go to the next slide? Come on, you brave souls. Let me know what you think what's needed to get a corporate sponsorship. An audience base that matches their target audience. That's a good one, Cherise. All right, Nicole, connections. Nicole, you are right. The more connections and the people that you know, the easier it is to get a sponsorship. That is true. Connecting with the master connector. You're right. If you connect with me, that's what my team does. We help you get corporate sponsorships. Can Whitelet hit her large follower count and proof of high revenue? Interesting, Kim. So we're gonna get into that because I have some myths and some facts about sponsorship. All right, so let me go to this next slide. The top 10 things that you need to get sponsorships are here. Define what you need and the goals of your company, right? You have to figure out what you need them to sponsor because if you don't know, then how they know what it is to sponsor you. Understand who your target audience is, right? Like who are you serving? Because a lot of brands want to align with people that are already serving their same target audience. Research brands that align with your organization. This one is huge. I give the example all the time. If you're a health foods company and McDonald's wants to sponsor, that might not be in alignment for either of you. Build a sponsorship deck with metrics and KPIs. So I highlighted the most important things out of these 10 that you need, right? So you definitely need a sponsorship deck that tells your metric and KPIs. So I think Jonathan mentioned that earlier. So you were right on target with that. Develop a strong proposition to show the value. So you need to show the value of why the organization wants to sponsor what you have going on. Craft your pitch. So my team helps with that. Having that elevator pitch ready so that when you meet people that could potentially sponsor your business, you have your pitch ready. Build relationships. So Nicole touched on this. Relationships is so key in getting sponsorships. The more people you know, it is easier it is to get these deals done and get people to sponsor your business. Negotiate and formalize the deal. So that's where you negotiate. And we'll get into that on another slide about negotiating on what you're going to get and what the other organization is going to get. Deliver an excellent sponsorship experience. So when somebody does sponsor your business, make sure that they have the best experience and that their metrics are met. And report on results. This one I highlighted because a lot of times people that receive sponsorship dollars from people, they don't follow up. And they don't say like, how did you enjoy the event? Did you have a good experience? Did we help you meet your metrics? Right. And so you want to turn that one-time sponsorship deal into a multi-year deal. So when you follow up and understand if they were happy or what they needed and how you can continue to work with them, that's where the bread and butter gets really, really good. Okay, so like again, you want to write this down, take a picture of it, but I highlighted the most important ones that you need to even get started. So on this slide, you can see I have pictures here with the Mayor Andre. He just won his election, so he's in for another 4 years. Shout out to Dre. And then Egypt, Sherrod, and Mike Jackson. Here's Egypt and Sherrod, and then there's Yandy and Mendices. But in these pictures, this was the first event that I hosted here in Atlanta. And I was the head of national sponsorships at the number one bank in the world for the last 5 years. So I told you guys I worked on Wall Street for 21 years. In the last 5 years, I was head of national sponsorships at this organization. I can say at JP Morgan. And I knew what it took to get sponsorships because I was head of sponsorships. So I knew what people were asking for when they were trying to get deals from us, right? And so when I went on my own, because I became a full does it help if you have? Yes, it does help. So the question, so I'm taking questions, Kim. I don't know if you saw, but on with the VIP code. So unfortunately, I'm not answering many questions unless you have that VIP code, because at the end you get to sit and ask me questions. So if you want to scan the QR code, which is going to be on the next slide, and I think it closes in 20 minutes, I will answer everybody's questions that they have. So keep them to the end, and I'm taking all questions, and I'm also going to help you find a potential sponsor at the end. But so with this event that I had, I knew what it took to get sponsored. So guys know what I did? I reached out to my friends that I knew that had successful businesses, and I said, "Hey, I'm doing this event. The mayor is coming. I got high profile people in the building. There's going to be successful entrepreneurs, industry leaders, corporate executives, the who's who of Atlanta in this room. You want to sponsor this event because it's going to help you get exposure for your business." And do you know 3 of my friends signed up to sponsor my event? And so that's how I got three sponsorships, right? So we can ask the big brands to sponsor, but sometimes our friends that have successful businesses want exposure too. A sponsor wants to be the business of choice. So they use their marketing dollars or their sponsorship dollars to sponsor things that are going to help them get exposure. It's like a free commercial. Well, not free because they're sponsoring our businesses, but I was able to ask three of my friends to support my business, and I got three sponsors for my first event, which is where you see pictured here. Okay, so now we're going to go to the next slide. And also here again, Kim, is the QR code if you want to scan and upgrade to VIP, where I'll be taking all questions at the end. So far, we have Lori James and Kim Best signed up to get signed up for VIP, that I'll be spending some time with them at the end of this to go over questions that they may have and help them find a potential sponsor at an organization. All right, y'all. So this is where the money resides. These are the different places that can potentially be a sponsor to you and your business. So here, right here, businesses that have five employees or more is considered, this is what is considered a business in the eyes of these stats, right? There's 3.6 million businesses that have potential sponsorship dollars for you, right? That's the biggest sector where you go into an organization. Like I said, I have my three friends that have successful businesses and they have employees under them and they sponsor my business. Nonprofits, Nonprofits do have sponsorship dollars because they want to market their businesses as well. Trade shows and conferences, they have sponsorship dollars. And then colleges and universities. Most people overlook these last two, but they have sponsorship dollars. Before I go to the next slide, can anyone tell me what do you think some sponsorship myths are? Right? So we talked about what a sponsorship is, but what do you think some of the myths are with sponsorship? Anyone want to put a guess in the chat? What do you think some sponsorship myths are? It has to be a larger corporation. That's a good one. Ebony, let me see. You guys are getting them in here. Let's see. Ebony said that you have to be a reputable company. Well, you do want to make sure that your company is doing the right thing, right? Because when we help people get sponsorships, we have a brand audit, and Rod from my team does that to make sure your Instagram looks a certain way, your website looks right, all your links work, but you don't have to be like a well-known company. So that's a good one. You have to know the right people. All right, Coach Jeanette. Well, no, that you get paid money for promoting. Henry, what do you mean that you get paid money for promoting? Elaborate on that one just a little bit before I go to the myth slide. Oh, are you saying, Henry, that people that promote automatically get paid? I think that's what you're saying. Okay. All right. So here are some of the myths, y'all, about sponsorship. You have to be an influencer to get sponsorship. So I think somebody on here said, I don't have social media presence. So Kimberly, how did you find me? Because we heavily promote on social media. So if you could put in the chat how you found this class, that would be helpful. But yes, you don't have to be a big influencer to get sponsorships. Most people think you have to have a huge following to get corporate dollars. Oh, when I presented to Jewel, okay, awesome. Most people think you have to be a big influencer to get sponsorship. That's not true. When I got my first corporate sponsor, I had less than 6,000 followers. I was not an influencer. Only nonprofits get sponsorship. That's not true either. That's a huge myth. Most people think you have to have a 501c3 to receive corporate dollars. I'm a for-profit business, and I was able to get some big brand deals, which I'll show you on the next couple pages for my business that just turned a year old in October. Only big brands have sponsorship dollars. That's not true either. So I give the example all the time of Verizon and Cricket Wireless, right? Most people think when you think cell phones, you think Sprint, Verizon, but Cricket Wireless has sponsorship dollars as well, right? And so anybody that has a marketing budget, sometimes it's called sponsorship or marketing budget, they have dollars to support your businesses. Sending out cold emails does not work. This is absolutely a huge myth. It's harder sometimes when the other person doesn't know you, but I can tell you, sitting in the seat that I had at this major corporation, I would get emails all the time. And if somebody's emailed me and their business aligned with what my metrics were for the company, I would have a conversation with them. So cold emails absolutely does work. Sometimes you have to follow up more than once, but they do work. All right. This again is a QR code if anybody's interested in signing up for the VIP package. Let us know. That's again, so you can ask me questions at the end of this call, and I'll help you figure out the company that you want to get a sponsorship from. Like I'll look up the contacts for you. Okay. Sponsorship facts. And my producer just let me know that the 20 minutes is almost up. So here's your last chance to get the VIP for this presentation if you're interested. And that's the QR code right here. And again, that's to ask me questions. We'll stay on after this call is over if you have any additional questions about sponsorship, as well as we'll look up an organization that you potentially want to work with. And I'll try to see if I will see if I have a contact at that organization for you. All right, so here's some sponsorship facts. We just did the myths, here the facts. Big companies plan their budgets a year in advance. So when I was the head of sponsorship, all right, let's see who said that. Kim Whitehead. Woohoo, you just made it in. Put some fire in the chat for Kim. She just made it in time for VIP. I think we have like another 2 or 3 minutes left for the VIP closes. But all right, Kim, and I can answer your questions. All right, welcome to the support. Welcome, Chris. I'll answer your questions at the end of the presentation. Who is VIP? Thanks, Ebony, for putting fire in the chat for Kim and Chris. Welcome to the VIP. We'll be in there with Kim Best and Lori James. All right. So sponsorship facts. Big companies, they plan their budgets a year in advance. If you're looking for sponsorship dollars, you want to get to these organizations as soon as you know it. So we started planning our budgets in August the year prior, right? And so if I'm looking for money for 2025, I'm asking a company in 2024 and following up with them January 1st or January 2nd or whenever they get back to work. Hey, I'm looking to continue a partnership or sponsorship with you. What can we get on a call to talk about what the budget looks like, what our goals are for 2026. Most companies have a sponsorship or civic engagement dedicated person. So again, the larger the organization, they usually have a dedicated marketing person, sponsorship person, or civic engagement person dedicated to finding the new things that they should be sponsoring to get the messaging out for the company. They are looking for alignment to help them with their goals, usually a company of choice of their services, right? And so when the company wants to sponsor somebody, they're looking for people that can help them close their goals faster, right? Like execute on their goals. So for me, when I was head of sponsorships, my goal was to close the racial wealth gap. So I looked for organizations that were out in the community focusing on home ownership, financial literacy, entrepreneurship, different things that educated the community on closing the racial wealth gap. So I looked at companies that are already doing this to increase our presence, right? And so that's just an example that the company wants to align with you if you're going to help them with help them execute their metrics and their KPIs for the year. All right, so we got 2 people that made it to the VIP. This QR code is going off after this slide. So if you haven't signed up for VIP, you might want to do it now before I get to the next slide. Okay. Let me know in the chat if you need. All right, Cherise, welcome to VIP. Again, I'm getting ready to go to the next slide and the QR code will disappear because I think the 20 minutes is up. Let me know if you need it. And if you do, like I said, it's closing in 20 minutes, but I mean, it's closing now because my producers let me know that to go to this slide, the VIP link is going away. So if you want to ask me questions at the end of this presentation about corporate sponsorships, get the VIP. And also, again, I was able to make 6 figures. Is the VIP free? No, this call is free, Otis. The VIP is the 47. So right now you're on the free call. What I was going to say was I was able to make 6 figures in 6 months in my business because I had major corporate sponsors. And one of the major corporate sponsors I can tell you now was Amazon and Puma. And so again, these are big boys. They've been around for decades. And I was able to get them to sponsor my 6-month-old business with less than 6,000 followers on Instagram. And so I was head of national sponsorships at the largest bank in the world. So again, I am giving you guys all these sponsorship secrets and tips for free. And like I said, if you want to ask me questions and you sign up for the VIP, Otis, after I go past this slide, the VIP link will no longer be available. And this is it here if you want to sign up. Okay. And it says Karen will attend the VIP session on my behalf. We're working together. Okay. Is she on the call? I guess you can send her the link or what my team sends you. All right, so going once, going twice. The VIP link is going down after I get to this next slide. Okay, hopefully everybody's scanned and signed up for it. All right, sponsorship secrets. Okay, these are the top things that you must do to get started to get sponsorships. Create a deck with your company's metrics and KPIs. Again, Jonathan talked about this earlier. This is so important. You need a deck that's telling your story. Metrics are things like numbers. How many people are a part of your organization? How many people have you impacted? How many events have you held? KPIs are key performance indicators, right? Like how you're driving your business forward, your mission statement. Like these are the important things that need to be inside of your deck, that you're telling your story to the company. Identify companies that align with your brand or organization. Again, I gave that example of if you're a health foods brand and McDonald's wants to sponsor, that may not be in line with what your company's mission and brand is. Same thing for Chick-fil-A, right? They're not open on Sundays. And if you have something that's always happening on a Sunday, they may not be the brand for you. Send out a customized email to them, right? So sometimes people get one blanket email and they just blast it to everybody. No, you want to customize it and say, hey, Nike, I see your 2026 goals are this. This is your mission. That aligns exactly what my company is doing. Can we have a conversation? Customize each email to the organization. You don't want to send out a blanket email to organizations when you email them. All right. So how do we find these brands, right? How do you figure out who should be a sponsor for your company? Like, how do we search for them? You want to look for large companies, large, medium, and small. So you want to run the gamut, right? And I gave the example of Verizon, but then I looked at their competitors, Sprint and Cricket Wireless. That's an example of large, medium, small. Look at them, look at their competitors. And again, Cricket Wireless wants their name out there too, so they may be able to give you a bigger budget, right? And so think of brands you use every day and smaller brands, and there's smaller brands that are competitors. So if you use certain toothpaste every day, you might want to reach out to Colgate, right? Or if you use a certain hair product, right? Like, you might want to reach out to the hair product. Like, I use your product all the time. I love what you're doing. I have this event coming up. I would love if you guys could be a brand sponsor. Some organizations won't offer money, but they'll offer in-kind products, which might be good for you to give to your attendees. Again, I gave the example when I talk about small brands. I asked my friends at my first event to sponsor my organization, and each of them gave me $2,500 because I created a deck, and the minimum to be a part of my event was $2,500. That gave me $7,500 for my first event that I put on. That came from my friends that own small businesses. All right, y'all tracking with me? Put some yes in the chat if this is informative. Put fire in the chat. Let me know if we're on the right track to let everybody know what's going on. And put in the chat who you want to connect with. Like, what brands would you love to work with? Like, just write down your dream brands. Let's just see what you guys are thinking. Because again, the brand that sponsored me, and I'll show you in this next two slides, I was in shock and I was like, wow, like they sponsored my 6-month-old business. But again, I showed the value and I had a sponsorship deck. Okay, Veuve Clicquot. Okay, that's a good one. Lululemon. Do you wear them often, Ebony? All right. I want to connect with brands related to relationship and marriage. Okay. Ebony Jackson often. Okay, that's awesome. Yeah, like I said, when you have brands that you're passionate about, like that can read through the email. Like I use your brands every single day. I would love for you to sponsor my business. Okay. All right. So you guys, I'm gonna go back two slides. You guys got, I'm sorry, I'm gonna go back. Well, I'll go back to this slide. This was the last slide with the VIP. If you want to scan the QR code, because I think it is closed, it might be closing in 1 minute or it may have closed, but just want to slide back for you guys. Okay. So the easiest thing, okay, the VIP is closed. All right, my team just let me know VIPs is closed. Amazon and Walmart. All right, Simone, I can see that for you with your products. You always want to add value. That's with any business. Adding value is a must. Any business that you have, you need to solve a problem for the next person. This is an example of what my sponsorship tier looked like. Okay. This was on my second event. So my first event, it started off at 2,500 because I was new. As I got better, we went up to 5,000 and 15,000, 25,000, and then platinum was 45,000 to sponsor my event where I'm bringing in corporate executives, industry leaders. I'm telling them they want to be in this room, right? So you want to ask the company that you're looking to sponsor your event, what are your goals? What are you looking to accomplish? Like what are your metrics for 2026? What are you trying to, like I said, what are you trying to accomplish? And make sure your sponsorship deck reads that back. Make sure it's beneficial and customizable for the organization, right? And so for me, I'll give you an example. I had a sponsor that wanted to come in and they said to me, I have more than 5,000, but I don't have 15,000. But they wanted to be a part of my event. They saw the last event that I did. They said, I need to be in that room. But what's important to me is I need to be able to talk to the audience. I need 5 minutes on stage to tell them what I'm working on. So what did I do? Right here. I said, I made it customizable. I'm not going to turn down the $10,000, right? And because it's more than the five, more than entry, but it's not exactly silver. So I customized the silver package I customized a package for them. What I did actually, I gave them the $15,000 package for 10,000 to show more value to them, to potentially get them to continue to be a sponsor for me. And I threw in something extra because to speak at my events, you need to be paying the 45,000, but I let them speak because they were a new brand, I was a new business, and it worked. So I was able to get $10,000 from them as a sponsor, and I gave them the silver package for that. So sometimes you have to be a little bit more flexible. But again, it's all about building relationships so that they want to come back and continue to sponsor your business. But this is an example of what I included inside the sponsorship deck, what the person would get at the different tier levels, and you decide your own tier levels. Okay. Drum roll. This is my most excited. This is my proudest moment. So when I launched my company, Amazon was my first official corporate sponsor, y'all. Did y'all hear me? Amazon. Put some fire in the chat for that. I was excited. Like Amazon sponsored my 6-month-old business. And at the time, my business was probably 4 months old. I was so excited. Thank you, thank you, thank you, support. But this was the email that I received from them. I had to block out certain things, but they were like, we want to come in as your platinum sponsor. Again, I told y'all I was able to make 6 figures in 6 months because I had corporate sponsors and y'all saw them platinum levels, right? And so Amazon was my first official sponsor. And so somebody asked earlier, do you just need one? You just need one big one or even one small one because I used the 3 sponsors I had from my friends from the first one in my sponsorship deck, right? Their businesses. And then that attracted Amazon. And then I was able to attract Puma right after, right? And so Amazon and Puma, I'm sure you guys are familiar with these 2 brands. They're huge organizations that sponsor my 6-month-old business. So again, I was not an influencer. I had less than 6,000 followers on Instagram. My business was 6 months old, but I showed the value. I showed them they want to be in this room because it has the Atlanta's elite in this room. And anybody on this chat, if you've been to one of my events, put a heart in chat. If you've been to one of my events, put a heart in chat. You can see the value and the impact of the rooms that I create. It's the who's who and just so much value. So I told them you want to be in this room because you can potentially get um, customers and clients and even hire people for your company in this room. All right. Thanks, Simone. Top tier. Before I go to the next slide, can anyone tell me what you think you need to provide in your deck to attract a sponsor? I kind of gave y'all a game already, but um, just put in the chat what you think you need to have in your deck to attract a sponsor. Just so I can know some stats. Yeah. So we call it stats. So it's like metrics and KPIs. Yep. The best of the best, something to offer them. Yep, someone that's good. Yep, you want to make sure that you're showing value to them. I signed up for the In the Room with You, Nicole and Nicole G. Got sick that day and couldn't attend. Would love to go to the next one. Yeah, the next one. We're planning the next one. I usually do 2 a year. I'm toying with I'm gonna do 2. I'm gonna do 1 next year, but we're gonna definitely have. I'm definitely gonna. Yeah, Nicole did the first event with me. All right, alignment with their business. That's a good one, Nicole. Yes, referrals. Okay. Clear and concise purpose and intent. Yeah, these are all good. Good job, everybody. Okay. So some success stories. So these are some of the people that I've helped get sponsorship deals, not for me, but for their business. And let me know, put a fire in the chat if you recognize anybody or put their name in the chat if you recognize any of these people. So I helped Angela Yee get a brand sponsorship deal. I've helped Ian Dunlap. So Angela Yee is on a radio station in New York, an international radio station. Ian Dunlap, he helps people trade. Eric Thomas, Dr. E.T., one of my dear friends. So Angela Yee and Dunlap, Angela, and Eric Thomas are some of my really close friends, but I've helped them get brand deals and sponsorship deals for things that they had and helped them get deals to speak. You know, ET is the #1 motivational speaker. And then Earn Your Leisure. Yep. So I've helped all, I was just thinking of InvestFest. Yeah. So yeah, I've helped all 4 of these people get sponsorship dollars from organizations. Okay. That's just what I helped them do. Before I even helped myself, I was like, oh, I'm on to something because I've helped some top people get sponsorship dollars. All right. So here's a testimonial. So this is Ash Cass. I don't know if you guys are familiar with him, but he wrote a testimonial because he came to me to help him get sponsorships for he was doing an event in the community. So not only did I help him with his sponsorship deck, I connected him and with somebody that I knew that wanted to partner with what he had going on, which was a major brand. I'm not going to disclose it on this call, but I went above and beyond, not just helping him with his deck and helping him curate all the things he needed to get a sponsor. I also branded him and put my use my relationship capital to get him a follow-up call. All right, Kim, you know all of them. So testimonials. So there's some more testimonials from other people that I have helped. So I'm also the author of the book I mentioned in the beginning, The Master Connector, The Ultimate Guide to Building Impactful Relationships and Business Success. These are some testimonials that Egypt, Yandy, Cynthia, and Ian have wrote about me in the back of the book, how I've helped them, how I got connections for them. So again, I've been out here connecting people for over 20 plus years. Wall Street executive, now full-time entrepreneur, and we help people secure corporate sponsorships. Thank you, Coach. Coach wrote, "This is dope. I love it. Thank you, thank you, thank you." What have you guys learned the most? Like, what was the biggest gem I dropped for y'all so far? For me, I want to just say the biggest gem I think is the sponsorship myths that you have to be an influencer or have a lot of followers or have a well-known business to get a sponsorship dollar. To me, that's one of the best things I think I've told you guys. But let me know in the chat what you think. Yes, the myths. Okay. If you don't have the book, run and get it. Oh, thank you, Deidre. Yeah, so Deidre got a copy of my book and got one for her daughter. I talk about all the networking gems inside my book. Yeah, the myths. Yep, I was going to say busting those myths, the myth of large follower base. Yes. All right. Okay. And say we really do this. We're out here helping the community, connecting top people, connecting the everyday person to sponsorship dollars. What are y'all still wondering, right? Is it possible for me to secure a corporate sponsor? Of course. Yes, it's possible for anybody on this call. There's 18 of you on this call to secure a corporate sponsorship. How quickly can I start collecting checks? So I get asked this often, right? We think when we want dollars, you want them right away. Corporate sponsorships take anywhere between 3 to 6 months. It takes a while, especially if you're getting it from a major organization, because inside an organization, they're not spending their personal money, they're spending the company's money. So they have to get a ton of approvals from finance, from marketing, from management, from legal, all different checks to get you that check, right? And sometimes they're net 30 or 60 to pay you out. But you want to get the process started early. So the sooner you know about the event that you're doing, you want to get those emails started. What does it take to get started? Anybody want to put in the chat what it takes to get started? What it takes to get started is a sponsorship deck, right? That's the first thing. That's telling your story, putting those metrics in there, those key performance indicators, talking about your target audience, right? And so my team helps you craft your initial sponsorship deck. What am I doing wrong? I get asked all the time. Some people just don't know where to start. They don't know how to craft an email. They don't know what to say when they get these opportunities to people. Is it a waste of my time? Of course not. Sponsorship dollars are free dollars that you don't have to pay back with no strings attached, right? You only pay taxes on it, right? But those are dollars that people are investing in your business that is coming to you. So it's not a waste of your time. How many of you want to have sponsorship dollars, especially from Amazon or Puma or even from your friends' businesses, right? Every dollar counts. All right. So this is what we're going to help you with in an 8-week cohort. So I did this call because I'm putting together an 8-week cohort to help people get sponsorships from the beginning to the end. Now, my clients pay me, and I'll just tell you this number on this call. My clients pay me anywhere between $15,000 to $25,000 to help them get sponsorships. And it's worth it because I get them that in return, right? They have a deck that they can use for forever. They're getting access to my network, which anybody in the chat knows me. I have a vast network, and it's helping them get funding for their events. And I'm, like I said, I'm busting all those myths that they don't know. And we do everything for them. That's the price that they pay for us to do everything for you, because I have a whole team that does the whole sponsorship for you. But what do you think is worth if I do a cohort where we're going to work together, right? Like, I'm not doing it for you. I'm going to teach you how to do it for 8 weeks. Put in the chat the price you think the cohort should cost. I just told you what my clients pay me, but what do you think a sponsorship cohort should cost? Put inside the chat, what do you think that the value is of that? Don't all throw the numbers out at once, but I would love to hear what you guys think the price of the sponsorship cohort. Is that 50, 1,500 to 2,300? Okay. Right, Simone, Kim, 5K to 7K. Kim is close. Coach Trini, 5K. Yes, Nicole is 25K. Yes, Nicole. So I like these numbers. So most of you guys are closer. So Kim and Coach Trinetta are and Nicole, so it's all between the three of you guys. 1,500 to 2,300. Okay, 5,000. Yeah, continue to guess. Everybody guess. Deidre, 10K. Deidre, Deidre got it right, but I don't know if anybody else wanted to guess 7,000, 7,000 final answer. Um, Yeah. So again, I kind of gave the guy the answers a little bit. Again, my clients pay my team what Deidre said exactly the 10K because Deidre got it right. But my clients pay us anywhere between 20, 15 to 25,000, depending on what they're doing, depending on what they need for us to do all the sponsorship work for them, right? But I was like, I want to help the masses. I want to put together a cohort. And this is what the cohort does. So one, we help you identify the problems that you need to solve to get the sponsor, right? So we help you identify the value that you're going to show the sponsor that you need. Develop a healthy prospect list. You tell us the top 5 to 10 companies you want to work with. We will see who we already know personally. And if not, I have a whole database and system where I can help you identify the brands and the people at these organizations. Evaluate if it aligns. So again, some people say they may have this brand, they want to work with that brand. I can say, well, I don't know if that aligns with your business, right? Because I've been on Wall Street for 21 years. I've been doing sponsorships for the last 5 years, and I've helped, like you said, I just show you guys some of the biggest brands. So we'll help you evaluate if it aligns. We create and submit a custom proposal for you guys. So write that customized email and then send a fulfillment report at the end to show proof. So once they sponsor you, we'll help you work with the report to send back out to them so they can become a partner, not just a sponsor. So they'll come back. All right. So we're doing the sponsorship cohort tonight. So Deidre was right. The price is $10,000. Um, but if you sign up tonight, what's included is a free copy of my book, a digital copy. So in this book, as Deidre mentioned, you will get to know I give the top 3 networking tips. You need a network to sell your products to. These are the fastest way to grow your network instantly, right? Like my book tells you the top 3 network, it tells you all the networking tips, but the top 3 that I tell people all the time: lead with value, do good business, and always like lead with value, do good business, and follow up. We meet so many people, sometimes we don't follow up. I just was at the mayor inauguration ball. I followed up with every single person. I met 12 people. I followed up with them within 24 to 48 hours of meeting them and took a picture and showed them, hey, we just met here. I would love to get on your calendar next week. Like, let me know what's available for you. This event, this membership here. So some of my members, if you're a member of my community already, put some fire in the chat. I see several of my members on here. I saw Henry, I see Simone, I see Deidre, Chris, Kimberly. So yeah, so my membership community, we are fast growing. Nicole is a part of the community. You're going to automatically meet other business owners inside this community, right? So those are 2 ways that you can grow your network the fastest. Again, when you're looking for sponsorship, you are all welcome with love. Yes, let them know Simone. Simone gives us daily motivational. She's amazing inside the group chat, inside our community. But if you sign up tonight for the cohort, for the sponsorship cohort, you'll get a free digital copy of my book and 1 month access to the community, just so you can see what we're about, right? Like I will let you into the community for 1 month free because it's a paid membership community, but we'll throw these in to sweeten the deal. And then I wanted to say, when I say do good business, because that's one of the networking tips I talk about, my makeup artist is now a celebrity makeup artist. So she did my makeup really well. She's on time. Her prices are great. She's accommodating. Like she goes above and beyond to make sure you have what you need. I went to an event that she did my makeup for, and I went with Yandy. Yandy loved my makeup. She then went somewhere else. Yandy went somewhere else, and then Qua loved her makeup. Then I went to another event with Cynthia. She's right here, Cynthia. But Yandy and Cynthia are both in this picture. Went to another event with Cynthia. She liked my makeup. She did her makeup. She actually did her makeup for this event. She did my makeup and Cynthia's makeup. And then Angela Yee was my last guest. She did it. So word of mouth and connection to people when you do good business is so important. But I talk about all these different stories inside my Master Connector book. All right. So the moment we've been waiting for, the 8-week sponsorship accelerator program. I told you guys it's 10K. If you go on my website right now, you see the price is 10K. Because you guys invested in yourselves and we're on the call tonight, if you pay in full today, you'll get a free e-copy of my book and you'll get 1 month free access to my membership community. It'll be $5,000, but you have to pay in full today. And that's this pink QR code right here. If you want to put a deposit of $3,000, that's here, but it will be $6,000 if you pay after today. So if you put a $3,000 deposit down, in 30 days, the other $3,000 will be due. But these are the two prices. So for 24 hours tonight only, you'll get into the accelerated program at $5,000 because you invested in yourself and listened to the free program. And so again, it's half the price by just being on this call tonight, but you have to sign up within 24 hours. If you go to my website after 24 hours, you will see the full price of 10K. And that's the price of the accelerated program where we help you through the 8 weeks. Again, my other clients, they pay us 15 to 25K depending on what they need. So in the core, let's talk about what you get for the 10K value. One, you get a polished sponsorship deck. Sorry, let me back up a little bit. The cohort starts February 4th through March 24th. So this is the 8 weeks. It's every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Okay. So I don't know what people's schedules are, but the cohort will be every Wednesday at 7 p.m. But inside the 8 weeks, you'll get a polished sponsorship deck that you can rinse and repeat. Once you have one good deck, you can use that deck forever. And our team will help you craft that deck to show you how to map out your metrics, your KPIs, your vision, your mission, your target audience, all the things that sponsorships are looking for. We will help you we'll help you craft your deck. And then you'll get a social media audit on your website, your social media handles to make sure it's attractive to corporations. So Rod, who's on the call, he's on my support team. His team does the full audit of everything, making sure your links work. Because the worst thing we can do is have a sponsor ready to invest in us and they go to look at our socials or go to look at our website and it's not up to par, right? Kind of like, who are we sponsoring? An email draft to send out to organizations, right? So we will help you with your first email draft. You will have to customize it to different organizations that you're looking for, but we will give you the draft of it. Target companies that align with your brand. Again, we'll research the top 5 to 10 companies you want to work with and figure out which companies best align with your brand. What to ask for and how to position yourself on the calls, right? Because sometimes we get on these calls, we don't know what to say. And so my team will teach you how to have these proper calls once we get the feedback from the organization that wants to work with us. How to locate the right people at the company in direct emails. This is the biggest value here. A lot of times we don't know who to talk to, where to go, how to find the person at the organization. My team will help you locate the right people at the different companies that you want to work with, right? And so if you have the VIP, I will stay on after this call and help you with that to figure out, like you said, we'll give you one person at a company. Pitching your sponsorship deck to me. To help you practice, right? Again, I was head of sponsorships at JP Morgan for the last 5 years. So you can pitch your deck to me and I would give you feedback on what, how it sounds, right? Like we'll do like a practice. And the last part, a cohort of other business owners, right? So you're just already growing your network. So you'll be in there with other business owners that are looking for sponsorships as well. All right. So I would say, like I said, if you have VIP, you will hang on. Team, what should the VIP do? So that we know, because, okay, that we're getting towards the end of the presentation. So these are different ways you can contact me. Okay, my support team says if you have a VIP, check your email. They'll send you a link so that you can hop on with me and you can ask me more questions outside of this call. This is my email here. This is my website. This is my email. And this is how you can find me on Instagram if you want to follow me after this call. But I hope this was helpful. Thank you all for your time on this Wednesday night at 7 p.m. I want to just go over and give some high-level tips on how to get those corporate dollars. Corporate sponsorships are so important. It helps everything that we're doing for our businesses easier. Every dollar counts, right? Like I said, I started off with my friends that gave me $2,500 each. And then I moved on and was able to get Amazon and Puma. And now I have Truist, Northwest Mutual. So my business is just hit a year old and I have 4 major corporations sponsoring it. And again, I showed you some people that I've helped get sponsors that are have big names. Oh, thank you, Simone. Thank you, Deidre. Like, again, I hope, like you said, this was very helpful. And again, if you have VIP, stay on. We're going to answer questions. Rod, if you want to come off mute and let us know, and this is just me telling you guys, thank you. This was great start for the new year. Thank you so much. I'm just reading some of the comments. Thanks so much. This was awesome. Hope to connect with your programs in the future. Okay. No problem, Simone. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. All right,
So the
Rod,
VIP is on a different link. Everyone should have it already. If you don't, just send us a note, put it in the chat, let us know. And we're just going to jump over to the VIP call in the next 5 minutes.
Awesome. Thank you, everybody, for your time and the VIPs. I will see you over in the VIP.